off a daily fantasy. His number too high, then I'm probably fading him. He been on the road, he gon' eat up my salary. I hit a buy, he gon' lie before lock. Play back to back, then I probably won't pick on the DFS bachelor, good as it gets. Build a few liners and hit me a leg. He had a good game, but it might be a trick. Log in the Slack so I know who to pick. Sharing our liners, we all gon' get rich. New to this game, you should come to the pad. You might want some cash and get a good laugh. DFS Sports, we gon' run up a bag. He heard every game and it's making me mad. You buying your lineups, I think you a cheater. DFS bachelor, he the new leader. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Bachelor Pad. I, of course, am your host, the DFS Bachelor, and we're going to go over our Fanduel and Draftkings NBA slate for Monday, March 2nd. It's a 7-game slate, so we've got our early top 5, top 6 at each position for today's slate. First things first, thank you. A big cheers to all of you. Seriously, coffee and Bailey's morning for sure. Monday morning, good Lord. But thank you for all your support, all your kind words. I truly am grateful. It's humbling that you guys make me a part of your day, all the kind words you have for me, etc. I really do appreciate it. Thank you all so much. If you are new to the channel, welcome to the team. Be sure to hit subscribe down below, get access to all of our content. I was unable to get XFL out last week. Just a lot going on with my son's toe, and back and forth to the doctor, and he's got a play that he was the lighting guy for, and it's just hectic schedule. So we're back to normal schedule this week. So XFL, fantasy draft, NBA, etc., all sorts of stuff. So hit subscribe down below. I truly appreciate that. Also, by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and leaving a comment in the comment section, you qualify for our weekly $25 PayPal giveaway. That is sponsored by Draft Dashboard. We announce that winner every Monday. We're going to announce our weekly winner here in just a few moments. Draft Dashboard is the site where we go over all the usage, stats, history versus opponent, projections, can set exposures for the mass lineup generator, generate 100 lineups using the lineup optimizer, etc. You can get access to this tool, my player pool for every sport, lineup optimizer, etc. simply by clicking that link in the video description below. You can try Draft Dashboard for 30 days for $1. And also, don't forget to try Overlay DFS. It's a lot of fun. It's different. It's kind of a refreshing change if you get a little burned out on the competing against people with mass entries, needing 700 points on FanDuel to win, etc. Overlay DFS, you pick players head-to-head based on your record, what you can win. It's a lot of fun. It's not overly difficult to win. OverlayDFS.com. If you're an Android user, you can get the app there. If you're an Apple iTunes user, just go to the Apple iTunes store, download the Overlay DFS app there. Be sure to reach out to them. When you make your first deposit, they'll do a 50% deposit match up to $100. Reach out to them at overlaydfs.com or on Twitter and talk to them, and they will sort you out with that. A lot of fun, Overlay DFS. So with that being said, let's announce our winner before I forget. Good Lord. Our winner of this week's $25 PayPal giveaway, sponsored by Draft Dashboard, big thank you to them for that, is David Henry. So David Henry, hit me up in the comment section or on Twitter. Let me know how to get that PayPal to you. Sometimes when if you try to leave your email address in the comment section, you have to spell it out. It won't let the link post in there. YouTube's really weird. So that's just kind of something to keep in mind. But congratulations to you and thanks a lot. So that's all you got to do. Don't forget, comment with your fantasy draft usernames as well for that drawing on Friday. So let's get started. Up here at point guard, we've got Russell Westbrook. We've got Houston in Madison Square Garden. So you know the stars are going to want to play well. Westbrook, James Harden, etc. He's 10-7 on FanDuel, 10K on DraftKings, a 40 his last time out against the Knicks. More importantly, last couple of games, he's looked really good, a 63 and a 61. I do like Russell Westbrook. Luka, we just have to see if he's going to play. It is a back-to-back for Dallas. So we just have to see if he's going to play. He was held out of yesterday's game with that thumb issue. If he doesn't play, obviously guys like Delon Wright, Seth Curry, Tim Hardaway Jr., etc. become even more valuable. But I do love Trae Young against Memphis. Two of the fastest teams in the league. It's a paced-up game. He's 9-9 on FanDuel, 10-4 on DraftKings, a 41 and a 39 in his last two against Memphis. Memphis is 22nd against opposing point guards. I do like Trae Young an awful lot tonight. Of course, there's going to be interest in Ja Morant at 6'9 and 7'2. Feels like a trap. It does feel like a trap. Title of the sex tape right there. Feels like a trap. I can go many ways, actually. But, of course, I'll have exposure to him as well. Malcolm Brogdon, 6'7 on FanDuel, 6'9 on DraftKings. The Spurs are 25th against opposing point guards. He's been scoring in the high 30s, etc. He does have that 40-point upside against the Spurs team that struggles defensively, and they're really thin in the front court. No Podol, no LaMarcus Aldridge, etc. So it could be smooth sailing for a guy who does like to penetrate. I mean, that's too easy. That's too damn easy. Can hit the three. I like Malcolm Brogdon quite a bit tonight. Elf Payton, if I'm stacking Houston, I'll come back the other way with guys like Elf Payton. Even though he kind of struggles against Westbrook, he does have a 39 against him, not in the so distant past. Kobe White has been putting up huge numbers at 6'2 and 5'8", but I like Colin Sexton. I like that price came down. He's 5'5 on FanDuel, 6K on DraftKings. Utah 18th against opposing point guards, playing a ton of minutes. He's got the 40-point upside. We know that. I could certainly go with Colin Sexton. And for some value, there's a few guys down here. Thomas Satoransky at 5'3 and 5'5". He's got a 40 and a 43 in his last 2 games against Dallas, especially if Luka's out. He looks good. Seth Curry, if Luka's out, is going to play a ton of minutes. Big-time upside. He's also got a scary low floor. DeAnthony Melton has been starting. He's 4-9 on FanDuel, 4-5, 4-4 on DraftKings. Even though he's starting, he's still playing about 25 minutes or so. Again, Atlanta 23rd against point guards. She's going to start at the shooting guard spot. I like DeAnthony Melton quite a bit for some value tonight as well. Let's go to shooting guards. At shooting guard, of course, James Harden. Madison Square Garden, he put up a 95, I believe, his last time there. 10-8 on FanDuel, 10-5 on DraftKings. Knicks 19th against opposing shooting guards. James Harden in a smash spot, of course, tonight. You just worry about the blowout. Because the Knicks are so fucking terrible. Doesn't matter who the owner, coach, it does matter. The owner's an absolute joke. And that franchise, frustrating to deal with. Teams like Chicago are going to be frustrating to deal with. There's a few teams who are going to be really, really frustrating down the stretch to deal with. I think we're starting to see that now. CJ McCollum, 8-8 on FanDuel, 9-3 on DraftKings. Orlando, 19th against opposing shooting guards. Damian Lillard is still out, which means the huge upside in usage is there for CJ McCollum. Of course, he's in play. Chris Middleton may not play for Milwaukee. It's a back-to-back for them. He's missed the last couple of games with that neck issue. If he's out, of course, guys like Eric Bledsoe get a bump, even though he was pure dog shit yesterday. I think some guy in the chat goes, who gets the bump if Middleton's out? We all say Bledsoe, and then he puts up like 8 points. So, cue Eric Bledsoe, getting window liquor. But of course, all those guys get a bump today. Not the good kind. Not the kind that makes you party in Vegas either. Okay, let's just put it that way. Next, Zach LaVine, 8-8 on FanDuel, 8-7 on DraftKings. Dallas 9th against opposing shooting guards. A 50, a 45, and a 45 in his last 3 against Dallas. Again, could be no Luka Doncic, making everything easier for everyone on that team. I do like Zach LaVine quite a bit. Today we talked about the Chris Middleton situation. How about Kevin Huerter in that Atlanta-Memphis game? There's a lot of fantasy goodness in that Atlanta-Memphis game. 5K on FanDuel, 5-7 on DraftKings. Memphis 25th against opposing shooting guards. Victor Oladipo looks like he might be snapping out of his nonsense. I'm not sure I'm ready to play him yet, but I'll have a little bit of exposure if I'm playing 100 lineups. Guys like Delon Wright, again, we talked about it. If Luka's out, Delon Wright at 4-8 and 4-6. You're good to go there. Don't forget, you can follow me on Twitter, at DFS Bachelor. Follow someone, stay up with the news throughout the day, because this time of the year, we've been talking about this. It's very hectic, it's very volatile. Players are resting, players are not resting, tanking. You know, it's just one of those crazy, it's the crazy time of the NBA year. So it's really important to stay hip with what's going on throughout the day. Terrence Ross has been absolutely on fire. Now, that probably means he's going to burn me tonight. That's usually what happens when I play Terrence Ross. But if you look at his last 5 games overall, only 1 game under 30. He's got a 33, a 34, a 50, and a 30. Portland is 23rd against opposing shooting guards, a 32 and a 29 in 2 of his last 3 versus Portland. I do like Terrence Ross for tournaments. Tonight, Dante DiVincenzo for some value, of course, if Middleton is out. He's certainly in play. Gary Trent Jr. seeing okay minutes with Lillard out. Wes Matthews has been picking it up as of late. So there's some iffy value at shooting guard. It's not great. Obviously, if Luka's out, things improve greatly in that category with Delon Wright, etc. Let's go to small forwards. Of course, at the top, we got Giannis. Now, it's important to keep an eye on. Look, Milwaukee isn't really in any danger of losing anything in terms of playoff positioning. So on a back-to-back, he only played 35 minutes yesterday, put up a huge game. It wouldn't shock me if he rests. Now, Miami's one of the top teams in the East, even though they've been on a horrible slide. They can't defend anyone. Like, guards are just running circles around Miami defensively, even when Jimmy Butler's on the court. Like, Jimmy Butler's this great defender, Jimmy Butler. It's not showing up lately for Miami. So I like Giannis if he plays. He's got a 70 or more in 2 of his last 3 against Miami. Let's just make sure he plays. It is a back-to-back. It is something to keep an eye on. TJ Warren, 5'9 on Fanduel, 6K on DraftKings. San Antonio 25th against opposing small forwards, a 32, a 44, and a 31 in his last 3 against the Spurs. I do like TJ Warren. Guys like Carmelo, look, they're going to get more opportunities. It's just that Carmelo Anthony sucks. He sucks really, really, really bad. He's terrible. I don't understand why he's still playing in the league. Just go away. But he does have some upside with the extra usage with Dame being out, so he is someone to keep an eye on. Kevin Porter Jr. has been sort of impressive with that 50-point game. He's got 3 of his last 4 over 28. I think he's a little expensive for him, but I could consider it. I do like DeAndre Hunter, 4-6 on FanDuel, 5K on DraftKings. He's playing 35 to 40 minutes. Memphis 22nd against opposing small forwards. Again, another player with a low floor but a high ceiling. So I do like him in tournaments. And then we got a jumbled bunch here at about the 4K range on FanDuel and, 3, 5, and up here on DraftKings. We've got Kyle Anderson, Jay Crowder, Mo Harkless, James Ennis. I think all of them you can have exposure to. They're all going to play around 30 minutes. They've all got some 30-point upside. In Jay Crowder's case, some 40-point upside. Put up a 38 his last time out against Milwaukee. All 4 of those guys I think are fine value plays today. Yeah. Anything else down there? Chetty Osman. Ugh. Kevin Knox, no thank you. So that's it. But I do like that group down there. Small forward, it's a big drop-off. A lot of mid-tier and value-priced guys. That's where you're going to get some salary relief and savings today. Picking the right 2 small forwards, like on FanDuel, picking that position properly could be the key tonight, especially if you pivot off of Giannis if he plays. Power forward, I do like Kristaps Porzingis coming off a huge game yesterday. We just don't know if he's going to play on the back-to-back. They're being very careful with their guys, so we'll have to see if he does indeed play and gets a full workload. Chicago allows the second most points in the league to opposing power forwards. Bam Adebayo, 8-8 on FanDuel, 8-1 on DraftKings. Milwaukee 13th against opposing power forwards, a 47 his last time out against Milwaukee. Obviously, if for some reason Giannis rests, etc., it makes the matchup even easier. It is at home. I like Bam quite a bit. Tonight, Domantas Sabonis against that San Antonio front court that is absolutely destroyed. No Jacob Poeltl, no LaMarcus Aldridge. So you're going to have guys like Trey Lyles and shit, I can't even remember who else playing. It's going to be ugly. So Sabonis should have his way, 8-7 and 8-8. I like John Collins against Memphis, 8-6 on FanDuel, 8-9 on DraftKings. Memphis is 26th against opposing power forwards. He put up a 51 his last time out against Memphis. Julius Randle against Houston, even though he only put up a 35 that last game, we thought he would have a bigger game. Didn't play in the fourth quarter because the Knicks are a fucking joke. Whole organization. Like, just relocate the Knicks to Seattle and bring back the Sonics. I used to say that about Memphis, but it's just time. The Knicks are an absolute embarrassment to sports. They just really are. It's just pathetic. Aaron Gordon finally came back down to earth the other day with a 23 after a huge string of 50-point outings. 7-4 on FanDuel, 8-3 on DraftKings. Portland allows the most fantasy points in the league to opposing power forwards, so I can certainly consider that. Oh, you guys might get to see Barry here in a minute. Barry is very aggressive on my foot right now. Barry, that's enough. That is enough. For those of you who've been watching the show for a while, Barry is my dog, and he was probably a little tiny puppy last time you saw him, and now he is a giant boy. He's still a puppy, but he's a big boy out. He might come up to say hi. Come say hi. Come on. Come say hi to everyone. No, he won't do it. He's got his own voice. He talks a little bit like Cartman. Sometimes he says inappropriate things, so we have to watch him. Robert Covington, 6-2 on FanDuel and on DraftKings. The Knicks are 16th against opposing power forwards. Oh, he's banging his head on the desk. Last time out against the Knicks, Robert Covington put out a 35. Well, sorry, I thought you guys were going to get to see Barry, but now he has given up on that. Kevin Love has some upside. Played him 37 minutes with Tristan Thompson being hurt. You could see more of his minutes. Oh, you might get to see him. Come on. Here he is. Say hi to the camera. Say hi to Barry. Oh, that's a sweet boy. He's a very nice boy. And he says hi. And he's the DFS pup. Okay, on you go. Let's see. Trey Lyles. We just talked about all the injuries in the front court, so he's going to play a ton of minutes. The last game he played 39 minutes. He put up a 48. That's got to be his best fantasy game in years. He did occasionally do that kind of shit when he was with Utah. Back in the day, he'd come in for a few minutes and boom, put up a ton of points. But Trey Lyles should see all the minutes he can handle. Now, Indiana is 6th against opposing power forwards, and I do expect him to be pretty popular. But he's, of course, in play tonight, a guy like Bruno Fernando, if he's back in the starting lineup again. If you hate yourself, you could play Daniel Gafford. I can't stand Daniel Gafford. That guy fucking pisses me off. Let's go to centers. At center, Whiteside against Orlando. I just don't like playing centers against Orlando. He did get a 42 his last time out, but they're number 1 against opposing centers. Vooch makes things very difficult offensively and defensively for opposing centers, so I'll probably pass there. I will have some exposure to Vooch, a 63, a 48, and a 45 in his last 3 against Portland. More importantly, his price is just lower. So if I'm picking between the two, I'll take the better matchup and the lower price player with the equal amount of upside at home. He's 8-1 on Fanduel, 8-4 on DraftKings. I do like Vooch. Gobert and Drummond are facing off against each other. The last time Drummond faced Gobert, he put up a 52. The time before that, a 41, a 46, an 87, a 30. I do like Andre Drummond, 7-6 and 8K. We just need JB Bickerstaff to fucking play him 30-plus minutes. Stop playing this Drummond 23 minutes bullshit. With Tristan Thompson hurt, Tristan Kardashian hurt, excuse me. Hopefully he's still out. I believe he remains out for tonight. Drummond should be in good spot. Utah 18th against opposing centers. Gobert 54 his last time out against Cleveland. He's 7-8 on both sides. I could go there as well. Jonas Valanciunas against Atlanta. Atlanta allowing the 3rd most fantasy points in the league to opposing centers. 7-2 on FanDuel. 6-8 on DraftKings. I'm going to have a ton of Valanciunas at that price. A 44, a 30, and then he had an 8 his last time, but that was because he didn't play a ton of minutes in that game. Mitchell Robinson could be interesting against Houston. Put up a 43 the last time they played. There's always nerves when you play Mitchell Robinson, even though in his last 4 games he's put up a 40 in 3 of those 4 games, just because you want him to get the minutes. We need him to get the minutes. We want him to get the minutes. If he gets 25 to 30 minutes, he can put up huge numbers, so I will have some exposure to Mitchell Robinson. Miles Turner, we talked about the Spurs being decimated in the front court. 5-8 on FanDuel, 5-2 on DraftKings. He's been playing well lately, 3 straight games of 32 or more. I do like Miles Turner. For some value, of course, PJ Tucker. Look, he can get you 5 fantasy points in 48 minutes, or he can get you 34 in 39 minutes. He's 4-4 on FanDuel, 3-9 on DraftKings, a 16, a 22, and a 24 in his last 3 against the Knicks, who are 16th against opposing centers. Wendell Carter. Keep an eye on Wendell Carter on FanDuel. He just came back after being out for weeks. I call this guy the side effect commercial, because earlier in the year he would be the only player he would be questionable or probable with ankle, elbow, knee, shin, tongue, ear infection. He had like 7 symptoms. Is the most I'd ever seen on an injury report for one player, and he would play. He returned, played 18 minutes, put up a 23 on Saturday. He's 3-6 on FanDuel. If he's going to be in the starting lineup and his minutes are going to start going up around the 20s as they, work him back from injury, I'll have tons of Wendell Carter on FanDuel at 3-6. That's just a steal. It's a free square. Obviously, 5-5 on DraftKings, not so much. So that's our early look at each position. Again, you can get access to this tool, my player pool, as it evolves throughout the day, the cheat sheet, the research, the stats, put in the lineup optimizer, mass lineup generator, etc. Click that link in the video description below. You can try Draft Dashboard for 30 days for $1. When you do, how you find my watched players list, if you use that link, is you'll click on your watched players list, whatever that number is. It can be 0, it could be 250, it can be anything. Those are the players that you're going through and clicking to put in your watched players list. Once you click on that, you'll see a blue box at the top that says Watch DFS Bachelor's Picks. You click that, it'll highlight my watched players. You can use that list in your lineup optimizer, use your own list. It'll also have a timestamp in Eastern time when it was last updated, so you know when's the last time, after all, whatever amount of crazy news has come out throughout the day is up there. Then you can put it in the lineup optimizer. Again, these are just sample lineups early in the morning. No, not 100% weight on these. Like Jeff Teague, Westbrook, Ross, Levine, Warren, Ennis, Covington, Gordon, and Vucevic. Probably won't have both Vooch and Aaron Gordon. I do like that price for J-Val, but look, Wendell Carter on FanDuel at 3-6. Doesn't it just make a lot of sense to go there? You can get up to a guy like Brogdon or John Morant here. You can get Trae Young and come off of Russell Westbrook. Excuse me. I normally mute it, but I just... so there's something right there I could go with, and we still have 2,500. So you have a lot of upgrading we can do here. I mean, there's just a million ways you can go. We can get up to John Collins, Sabonis against that thin front court, still have 1,200. If you don't want to play James Ennis, we can get to Bogdanovich. I think that's a solid lineup there. Young, Brogdon, Ross, Levine, Warren, Bogdanovich, Covington, Sabonis, Wendell Carter on Fanduel. I think that's really solid. Let's go over to DraftKings. Trae Young, Sexton, Ennis, Anderson, Miles Turner, Ross, Sabonis, Wendell Carter at 5.5. I just think that's a little expensive. If he's getting his full minutes, of course I would go there at 5.5. Guy like Kevin Huter, Mitchell Robinson at 5.5. You could certainly go there. Lots of ways you can go. Click the link. Try it for 30 days for $1. Be sure to check out the Cash Game Optimizer as well. Congratulations again to our winner, David Henry. Also, don't forget to check out Overlay DFS. That is a lot of fun as well. Like, comment, subscribe. You could be the winner next week of the $25 PayPal giveaway. Cheers to you all. Thank you all so much again for watching and all your support. May the fantasy gods be with you tonight. We'll see you tomorrow for our NBA videos tomorrow. Thank you all again so much. Goodbye, folks.